In as much as the Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna and also the leader of Linda Mwananchi is gaining a lot of popularity in Kenya, things are not okay within the Linda Mwananchi camp. And now Kenyans of goodwill, Kenyans who support Edwin Sifuna and believe in his presidency come 2027, now they want someone to be smoked out of that Linda Mwananchi camp because they feel that this individual is a mole that maybe is being used by William Ruto to make sure he has brought confusion within Linda Mwananchi team. This man is Amisi, the member of parliament, Saboti constituency, who has been uttering some words in the past in an interview, in a press briefing where he has been pointing out that he doesn't want Edwin Sifuna to join the alternative government because Sifuna is the only guy who is capable of leading the country. Those statements, according to many Kenyans, they seem from someone who wants to bring confusion within Linda Mwananchi, especially after Edwin Sifuna said that the only solution, the only method under the blue sky, and the only method under God that can help the opposition to clinch power and send President William Ruto home is by coming together, the alternative government and Edwin Sifuna's team Linda Mwananchi, and form one thing so that they can front someone who will beat up President William Ruto. However, that statement, in as much as many people are calling for the unity, Rigathi Gachagua has been calling for this, they are saying that this is the only way. This is the only way, to kill the hyena and also go to the hunting. Yeah, they want to bring the antelope home. And bring the antelope home, the hyena doesn't want them to do it, so they must kill the hyena, and killing the hyena here, they must be united. But according to Amisi, this method is outdated and it may not help them clinch power. And according to him, he's saying that the people of Kenya are not even excited with other individuals, but they're excited with Edwin Sifuna. And that is the reason why he is claiming that the only man who can vie for president is Edwin Sifuna, and asking the rest, the likes of alternative government, to join hands and support Edwin Sifuna for Kenya as president 2027. It is a statement that many do not view with some critical thinking, but I'm going to analyze everything about what he means and also gives you a glimpse of what you didn't know about Amisi. Now, before that, I want us to listen to this video where Amisi is speaking about other opposition leaders, coming together and supporting Edwin Sifuna, because the youth and this generation wants Sifuna, and that is why they came up with the Mimi ndio Sifuna slogan. They never said Mimi ndio Kalonzo, Mimi ndio Gachagua, ama Mimi ndio Matiang'i. Roll the tape.
We want them to help us commit to the duty of our generation. Our generation, they want a new person. They don't want the old people. And that's why we are saying Linda Mwananchi presidential candidate is none other than Edwin Sifuna. Sawa? Na tunaambia Sifuna usikue na uoga. Waluya hawajajulikana kuwa waoga. Sawa? Sisi tumekuweka mbele. Tunataka united opposition iunge Sifuna mkono and not the other way around. Kama Sifuna hayuko kwa ballot, we are going to have voter apathy. Hawa vijana watapiga kura. Na hawa vijana wakikosa kupiga kura, William Ruto atarudi.
Now, that is Amisi, and that is a statement that has made many people think that Amisi is a mole in Linda Mwananchi team. But I'm gonna give you reasons why Amisi is doing this, and he is not a mole. I'm saying that he is not a mole in team Linda Mwananchi, and the people should stop viewing Amisi as a mole within Linda Mwananchi. And I'm gonna give you the reasons. Number one, Amisi, is the owner of Linda Mwananchi. In fact, that is his idea. It started way before, even when Raila Odinga was alive. But also, Raila Odinga motivated Caleb Amisi to come up with a platform, a party, something like a movement that maybe they could use. You know, Raila was a very bright politician. He knew at some point he'll lose popularity in Kenya, but he'll want again to gain that popularity. If things go wrong in broad-based, then he could have a chance to quit that broad-based government, and that would be through a party that could be started by Caleb Amisi. And let me tell you, some of you don't know, there was a close bond between Raila Odinga and Caleb Amisi than even anyone else. That one you should know. Raila Odinga trusted Caleb Amisi so much. And there are many reasons why that was happening, you know. There are many people I can tell you, Raila Odinga trusted Oparanya so much equally. He trusted Caleb, and that is why you could find Raila Odinga spending more time in Caleb Amisi's home in Karen, because he knew Caleb Amisi is rich. You know, Caleb Amisi is filthy rich, and he knew if he could start this movement, Caleb Amisi could be able to fund that movement, and if things get hard at the other side in broad-based, he could have a chance to redeem himself through the movement that could be started by Caleb Amisi. So Caleb Amisi started the Kenya Moja thing, which spiraled, which became rather it reached a point where when ODM, Raila Odinga has died, and ODM has been you know, the other faction has aligned themselves with the Linda ground, so wao wakakuja na Linda Mwananchi, but still that was Caleb Amisi's idea. But he chose Edwin Sifuna to lead the group because he had received that grace from God, and people loved Edwin Sifuna. So that is reason number one. He can never be a mole, because he will destroy a movement that has started, a movement that is destined to lead this country. Therefore, he can never make that mistake. And also, Caleb Amisi has been a strong politician with a strong stand since the time Raila Odinga was alive. Reason number two, Caleb Amisi means well for Edwin Sifuna, because he understands that if Edwin Sifuna goes to alternative government, that means he feels himself as someone who is weak politically. Yeah? So that is why he is saying Edwin Sifuna should play his politics, so that if the alternative government feels that they need to come together, they join Edwin Sifuna, because it's a movement right now. And I can say that because, you know, the moment people started saying Mimi ndio Sifuna, there is a conversation that had begun in the alternative government of choosing a flag bearer. That thing was subdued by the Mimi ndio Sifuna slogan and the movement Linda Mwananchi came with. And that tells you Edwin Sifuna is a movement. So he shouldn't rush to ask for forgiveness from Rigathi Gachagua. Oh, we need, he should not act desperate, because these other people, trust me, they depend on Edwin Sifuna because he's resonating so well with all groups of life. Yeah? So what Caleb Amisi wants here, at the end of the day, one is a nice method of determining who the flag bearer is who will face Ruto. And this will be done through a runoff in an election, such that if Rigathi Gachagua will vie for president, Sifuna will vie for president, Matiang'i will vie for president, Kalonzo, William Ruto, and any other, everyone will have his votes. Yeah? And once everyone has the votes, they will determine who the opposition leader will be, because in a runoff, we will have President William Ruto will be a contender in the next election, and the one who will have more votes in opposition. Yeah? And that, according to Caleb Amisi's plan, that automatically will be Edwin Sifuna. So he wants to come up with a very nice method of, you know, removing all others and making them to support him. Because if in alternative government they are all beaten and Edwin Sifuna emerges as the strongest, who will go to an election with William Ruto, that on a runoff, that means all others, the opposition, will come together and support Edwin Sifuna for president, na hivyo atakuwa rais wa Kenya. So Caleb Amisi is viewing the whole thing from a different angle, using a third eye that people are not seeing. Yeah. And then another reason, in 2027, for Kenya to have a change, the young people will vote. If the young people will not vote, that means in Kenya we shall have a problem, and it will be so difficult for the opposition to beat William Ruto. William Ruto will secure his second term very easily. Yeah, this is because there will be a voter apathy, where the young people will not be excited to go and vote the old chaps, the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, the likes of Matiang'i, the likes of Gachagua. For God's sake, these people, these old chaps, these old folks have worked before. Kalonzo has been working. He has been the vice president. He has been there. He has worked with Moi. He has worked with Mwai. Yeah. So what else can he bring? What new thing can he do to Kenyans? Rigathi Gachagua was a Dio. Yeah, he was a PA to Uhuru Kenyatta. Then he started, he has been a member of parliament. He was the deputy president. Yeah, he has served. Eugene Wamalwa, we don't even talk about him. Matiang'i has served for 10 years under Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, and he has also his things that are following him. Yeah, the Yala bodies that were found are being linked to him, Ruaraka land, so many things are following him up. And as much as Kalonzo equally has not dirtied his hands using the government coffers, but Matiang'i has worked. Edwin Sifuna has been only the senator, and he resonates well with the people. He is the reason why the youth can come out to vote on the 2027 election. And that is what Edwin Sifuna doesn't want. He doesn't want a voter apathy. He wants the youth to come out. If the youth come out to vote in numbers, yeah, that means William Ruto will go home without, yani hakuna kitu ya kupinga. He'll just go home. He'll be a one-term president. And equally, if William Ruto does not win the second term, whoever who will be the president ataona shida, because Ruto can really form a very strong opposition leader. That one, take it to the bank. Yeah. So those saying that Caleb Amisi is a mole, I think you don't understand what Caleb Amisi means. He means good for Edwin Sifuna. Personally, in my opinion here, as an analyst, it was not wise for Edwin Sifuna to be the one to call shots so we can join hands and stuff. He could do his job. Yeah, do the rallies, get the feedback from Kenyans, make others know the real meaning of uniting with him, because it's a force. When they come to join Edwin Sifuna with lesser expectations. I don't know what you think, but you can write your comment down there in the comment section. Let us talk, let us discuss. Perhaps it can form a basis of whatever we're going to talk about in the next video. We will maybe talk, I'll reply to every comment. So if you are new here, kindly consider subscribing, liking and sharing our content. Hit the notification bell so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time we bring you a new